So I'm sitting there thinking, there ain't a whole hell of a lot else I can do right at the moment, but I'm in the shop. So I'm sitting here looking. We know exactly where the cavity is going to be. We've got it templated out, but I'm looking at starting to contemplate what it's going to be like to drill our jack port. I mean, we know exactly where we're going, so, and I still kind of want it vaguely coming off at this point, but being in the front and going at an angle, it shouldn't interfere with things the way the other way did. Alright, but before we do that, we might as well have the cavity there, which I don't want to deal with right at the moment. However, I was sitting there thinking, well, I mean, we do need a piece of ash so we can do our back plate. And I grabbed this offcut because I thought, out of all the stuff I've got, maybe this would be interesting. And then I'm sitting here looking, and all this grain starts tight, and wah, which that could fit very nicely. But I found a place I think maybe it's got to be relatively close, and we're going to cut, quite a bit outside the lines, get it thinned, and then maybe we can find something that will fit pretty close and look pretty awesome there. So yeah, so I mean, see what we can figure out. I have a jointed edge. It's just stupid. That's pretty damn square to the blade. Okay. What'd I tell you? There. Whoops. I think that. Is where we actually want to be. I'm not going to cut right to the line, but closer, quite a bit closer. We'll be back. I think that's what we're looking at, and I think that looks awesome. That's going to be absolutely badass. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the one. Winner, chicken dinner. I believe, and I kind of chose this arbitrarily, but I believe I want my 0 fret to go right there. It may be an arbitrary decision, but I made a decision. Okay, and I don't know, just a little more than 1/8 beyond that is where I want the end of the fretboard. Now, because of that, this one's probably alright, but this slope we're probably going to need to trim down a little bit, because I don't want the end of the fretboard to flare. I want it to, and beyond the end, then we slope out. So this one will have to change a little bit, no big deal. But since we got this cap on, sorry I gypped you out of seeing me flatten that. But you see how far that went. So, I mean, this is going to be damn near veneer by the time we get it down. But we need to now get the slope on this so that we come up to a line somewhere behind that, because I have to have room for some type of a retaining nut, and I don't know yet what the hell I'm going to make that out of. I don't know. People shit bricks when they see, you made a wood freaking nut. Yeah, why not? It has no purpose other than to just keep strings in line. So people tend to shit solid gold egg rolls when you make a nut out of wood, but I don't care. We very well may still do that. Cheaper and easier than bone, and I got wood laying around all over the damn place. Alright, clearly I haven't given any thought to this yet. Let me do a little bit of playing around with where I want these lines to be beyond my 0 fret, and then we'll look at trimming this to match. Okay, I tightened this up a little bit. We want enough off the end of the fretboard that we're pretty sure that you know, cutting the slot and trying to get that fret in there is not going to chip stuff out of the back of it. And now that I look at it, those lines aren't parallel and I need to redraw them. But I'm putting the nut line 3/16 beyond. Hang on, let me take a look. I think I've got some thinner nut material that I don't like because it's thinner. Hang on. Yeah. The nuts that I have been using in the past, because I like them, are 1/4 inch. This is also 3/16. This is also what I'll be making my bone inlay out of. So yeah, we'll do this. Problem solved, and all the intertube wankers who want to cry about me using a bone nut, I mean a wooden nut, won't have to get their panties in a bunch. It'll be cool. Alright, this may be a little beyond where it's gonna finally wind up, but that's okay. We're not gonna do anything too crazy until we actually have the fretboard. Once we have the fretboard put together and it's sitting here where we can play with it and look at it, we can put it in place, know exactly where it's going to be, and then figure out where that nut's going to be. Exactly. And then we can trim this up if we need to. In the meantime, we can at least get close. That got us to the line, just damn near. Okay, well, That didn't take long. And they wound up being pretty damn thin. Okay, now I kind of want to get this slope cleaned up. Alright, I spared you the spindle sander for a little bit. It didn't take much anyway. The back is a little ugly. I'm not worried about it because, I mean, at some point, the thickness of this is going to come down. Once we have the head plate and everything, we know our exact thickness on top, then we can get the back down so that the whole thing is 5/8. In which time, then we will find out, you know, what we're actually really doing with the volute. But in the meantime, so we can't get too crazy, because I mean, we should be working into the volute, and we still can some, but some of it may be an exercise in futility. Or maybe that's not correct. We'll just be doing extra work that will eventually wind up being gone. Maybe. I'm just trying to be super careful that we just work this in to this and not actually affect this. We want a good, clean, smooth transition, but we don't want to alter this edge, like, at all. That gets the slope to the 0 nut, which has got to be really close to the end of the board. Just not quite there. Since I finally figured out how to reliably sharpen my scrapers. God, this is my favorite tool. And 90% of that's getting cut out, so I don't know why the fuck I'm recording. That may be good enough. Good enough for now. Holy fuck, I'm still recording. I think we worked in there nice and clean. This side probably needs a little work. So fucking sexy. It really is. Thanks for joining me. If you like what we're doing, if you're digging it, like and subscribe. Catch you next time. Like, subscribe.